Good morning, Hassan Huskies. This is your principal, Dr. Miller. Today is Monday, February 26, 2024, and I apologize, my voice is not projecting very well today, but I hope you can hear me. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, it's birthdays. All right, happy birthday. We have Logan in Mrs. Cedergren's room, Oliver in Mrs. Back's room, Amina and Mrs. Stemmick's, Audrey and Mrs. Craig, Bennett and Mrs. Moline, Ellen and Mrs. Wallen, and Annalise in Mr. Spitzak's class. Starting with the early March, we have Aria and Mrs. Sylvester, Prince O'Neill and Mrs. Sylvester, DeWitty and Mr. Spitzak's, and Janice and Mrs. Harns. Happy birthday. We also have the last of our half birthdays. We have Jacob and Miss Oakland, Annika and Mrs. Spears, Mia and Mrs. Grant, Caleb and Mrs. Dockendorf, Harrison and Mrs. Grant, Piper and Miss Christensen, Nellie and Mrs. Meeker, Phoenix and Mrs. Sylvester, Sophie and Miss Peterson, Jack and Mrs. Stella, Haley and Miss Hanlon, Sharika and Miss Oakland, and Draylin and Miss Sylvester. Happy birthday, happy half birthday. When your teacher tells you it's a good time, please come on down, grab a birthday book and a pencil, and remember, Hassan Huskies, you belong here. It's a great day to be a Husky. It's a great day to be a Husky.